Hi everyone, this is Mark from Millingandy in the southeast corner of Australia, welcoming you to Club Football, the EPL show. Love the show, guys, especially the World Roundup. I should do, it's my beautiful daughter Courtney hosting. Anyway, sit back and enjoy the best EPL podcast in the world. Over to you guys.
I got lost looking into your eyes. That's why we do it over Zoom.
It was a stunning goal. So, mate, your hot dog's in the post, Sally.
That's why I love Arsenal by Stephen Duffy. Oh, Jake's popped the question. She said yes.
She said yes!
Bish bash bosh. Hello and welcome back to Club Football, the EPL show. You're listening to episode 18. Can you believe that we've got this many in so far? My name's Tom Hughes and I'm here today, as I always am, by my baby brother Jack. How's it going, mate?
Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas and a happy New Year.
Yeah, it's been a good Christmas, hasn't it?
It's been a fantastic Christmas. Tom and I are sat in our parents' very lovely home in Western Australia.
It's very nice.
We've made a makeshift
There's your first swear word of the pod.
makeshift studio. That was accidental. Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? It's really nice.
Yeah,
We've took
nice.
over the house.
Yeah, so there's like 8 of us in the house, so it's very possible at some point that someone could just walk in and
Ruin it.
either ruin it or enhance it.
Yeah.
Who knows? We were hoping to get my dad in, but he's decided to go and play golf. So thanks, Dad. Guys, listen. Obviously, we've just had Christmas. It was awesome. We hope everyone had a really good Christmas, and we're really happy to be back. Yes, we were hoping to get this podcast out on Thursday, but you know it's Christmas, so we were a bit up the wall.
Yeah, day drinking and stuff.
Like that. But we are back. This will be Saturday, which is New Year's Eve. Thanks to Mark, who did the intro for the show.
Yeah, Boxy.
This week, Boxy. Really nice guy. Man United fan, which is obviously a little bit of a problem.
I've heard he's a good darts player.
He is a good darts player.
Is he as good as I, though, Tom? That is the question.
So my dad's got a cheap dart board, I guess, for Christmas off me mum.
Because she loves him.
Because she loves him.
He bought her an Apple Watch.
Yeah, and he got a cheap dart board with really crap darts.
Yeah.
So me and Jack have been practicing on the darts. Jack's pretty good.
Who knew?
Who knew? I didn't know. So Boxy, mate, thanks very much for sending in your voice note and introducing the show. Just look, we've heard rumours that you do cheat when it comes to left foot, right foot, game of the week, gobstopper, all the trivia stuff. So Mark, sort it out, mate. Jack, why don't you tell the people what we've got for the away day playlist this week?
We've got a very beautiful song by Bob Marley. 3 Little Birds.
3 little birds
On my doorstep,
singing sweet song.
merrily yum yum yum.
So I always loved this song. Then obviously Ajax
Yeah.
have took it on, haven't
Yeah.
they? I think Liverpool have done a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's mostly an Ajax thing.
Yeah.
Did you see, is it Ziggy Marley or
One of the Marleys.
Damian Marley
One of the Marleys.
went to the Amsterdam Arena?
Wasn't Bob, though.
Wasn't Bob. But look, obviously the away day playlist is basically just songs that we love and in some way, shape or form associate them with football. We've not put You Never Walk Alone in there, you know what I mean?
For obvious reasons.
We're trying to keep it a little bit unbiased. But yeah, no, it's a cracking song, so jump on the Spotify, have a little listen to that, let us know what you think. Jack, should we tell the people what's going to be coming up on today's show?
Tell me what's coming up on today's show, Tom.
Yeah, Jack's not seen this run sheet, so let's go through it before we drift into the abyss of which is today's show. First up, we'll be talking Game of the Week.
Game of the Week.
Obviously, the Premier League is back, and look, we all loved the World Cup, didn't we? But
God, it's over.
I'm glad the Premier League's back, is the way I'm going to phrase it.
So good, that's back.
So we'll have Game of the Week. Then our beloved Courtney, who is jet setting up the Australian East Coast, I think, this week. I think she's in Newcastle. But she's been brilliant, sent us in a World Roundup. So we'll have the World Roundup.
We're all caught up.
With Courtney. I hope you're having a boss time up there, mate. Then we've got Quickfire Forum, where we've got 3 voice notes this week.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is great.
Yeah.
We like the messages. We like the voice notes.
Yeah, it's better better this way. Innit?
Voice notes are a bit better, aren't they?
Yeah.
That way you can hear people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Put you under a bit of pressure a little bit.
Phrasing as well.
Yeah, the phrasing, the sarcasm.
Yeah.
Then we've got, Jack, I can't believe it, mate, the return of the greatest game ever played.
Greatest game ever made.
It's left foot, right foot.
Back, mate. Back by popular demand for the new year, starting us off right.
Yeah.
Get into that.
Let's just say we're starting off on the right foot. After that, guys, we've got a new section, which is story time.
Which we're very excited about.
We're very excited about. So, basically, Jack found a story, a football-related story on Twitter, and it's a thread. And we're going to read you the thread.
It's worth it.
It's quite an interesting one.
But no Tom or I can read, so it could be quite funny.
It could be an interesting one. And then we will, of course, come back around. We'll make a full circle and we'll return to the action of the Premier League. We'll do all things Premier League and we'll have a little talk about the games coming up. We were up at 4 o'clock in the morning this morning in Perth to watch Liverpool beat Leicester.
We are full of caffeine.
Yeah, we're pretty tired. But look,
Full of caffeine.
Come with us. Come with us. Either, make yourself a coffee or a beer and join us on a journey. Jack, before we move on, mate. Pele. God rest his soul. Yeah.
It's took the world by surprise, hasn't it? It's took I think it's done something to everyone around the world because everybody knows who Pele is.
Yeah, I think he was the first proper superstar, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, I think before him, I think you had Puskas.
Yeah.
Who was obviously Hungary, and then he went to Real Madrid and he was a big star. But then I think Pele was like
the man.
And
look, I know we lied about his goals sometimes.
Allegedly.
Yeah. But that's all right because we know he scored a few.
Yeah.
And obviously 3 World Cups.
I mean, when you think about the sort of career, the international career that Lionel Messi's had, and he spent a lot of his career not quite doing it. Then he won the Copa America, didn't he? And then the World Cup. And Pele, I think when he was 17, won his first World Cup. Three World Cups. And I seen a thing as well today, and it was talking about Pele, and I think as Europeans, we sort of rate the best player in the world on how they perform in Europe, don't we? But I think it was a bit different back in those days, and I was reading about big games that Pele had played for Santos, beating Benfica and AC Milan and Real Madrid, and I think he basically went in there and just completely transformed Santos as a football club. I think they won. I think they had only won 4 titles or something.
If you ask him, no, it was probably 7.
Well, I think they'd won 4, and by the time they finished, he retired with Santos. They'd won 320 titles or something.
I don't want to take home from this debate. Jack says Pele lies about everything. I don't want that to be the take home. I love Pele.
Yeah.
And I love his imagination.
Boss.
And he'll be missed.
Yeah, he will be missed. Proper legend of the game, and we tweeted this week, and it was on Instagram as well. I think people talk about the greatest of all time, and I think that's a big conversation. That's more recent, really. The GOAT conversation, Messi or Ronaldo. We spoke about it last week, but I think people like me, Dad, people like Mark, for instance,
George Sefton, friend of the pod.
Yeah, George Sefton, who's the announcer at Anfield. For them, Pele.
Yeah,
Pele was the man, and maybe Maradona.
Yeah, he told us we had him on West Underground, and he told us about when he watched Pele at Goodison Park in '66, and just he's seen all the greats since Ronaldinho, Messi, Ronaldo, the real Ronaldo, all the greats. Yeah, Konchesky.
Yeah,
Andrew
Voronin,
Phil Jones. I know Pele was head and shoulders above the rest, and he was the best.
Yeah. So it's a sad day, isn't it? Really, it's a sad time for football. We've lost a great, but the great thing about football is there's always a new challenger, isn't there, for the title? Obviously, Mbappe's one of them. So Pele, you'll be missed. God bless you. God bless you, mate. When we come back, we'll be jumping into Game of the Week.
Game of the Week. ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back. Game of the week. Game of the week is where we discuss what we think are the 3 best games of the week. Are they the best 3 games of the week? We don't know.
They're definitely not the best
we
games
just
of the
decide.
week.
Just put up with it.
It's just what we liked, really.
Yeah.
It's what we liked.
What we're into.
Yeah.
At number 3, it's Everton versus Wolverhampton.
Yeah. What a cracking game this was.
Great game. Everton breaking hearts at Christmas time all over again.
Oh, mate. I mean, look, it was a good game of football, I think. Wolves have struggled this season going forward. You know, I think they were hoping that Adama Traore coming back from Barca would give a bit more goals and assists than what he has. I think he's been disappointing, and I think Jimenez has been off the boil, hasn't he? I think they've just signed a striker, haven't they? I think, is it Acuna they've just signed? Anyway, last gasp winner. Last gasp winner to break the Blues' hearts. Jacko, Wolves needed that win.
They very, very needed that win. And you've got to think of what it does for the rest of the teams. So later on, we're going to talk about the teams we think that are going to go down.
Yeah, it's a question, wasn't it?
Which will be coming up later. Sorry for the spoiler. But yeah, I think it's a big result. And for Everton, it's not helpful whatsoever. I see a few people on Twitter calling for Frank said.
Oh, really? Well, I think you're a bit more tuned into this than me, I think. Yeah. Because I mostly use Facebook, obviously, because I'm old. Yeah. What's the vibe amongst Evertonians that you've seen out there on Twitter?
Frank Lampard's got one of the worst records as a full-time manager at Everton for the last 6 managers. His win ratio is just terrible. So I've seen a few of them calling for Mourinho, Tuchel, Zidane. Yeah, they want to change. But who wants that job? Who wants that job?
Yeah. I think it's one of them things, isn't it, with Everton, is that if they did have genuine investments, because I think this Mashiri guy's come in.
Yeah.
And I think he spent a bit of money early days, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know, he dropped that 45 million on Sigurdsson, which
does not repaid itself.
Which is not. I mean, he's repaying his debt, but it's not coming. It's not coming in handy for us. But no, look, I just think, you know, look, Frank Lampard's gone in there. He's a big name and all that, and it's not working at the minute for Everton. You know, when you think Everton have had, in my opinion anyway, 2 of arguably the top 10 coaches of the last 20 years. Carlo Ancelotti has won 4 European Cups now. Yeah. Rafa Benitez, obviously, European Cup winner.
Moisey.
David Moyes. Look, I honestly, if Everton could wrangle it, I'd be getting David Moyes back in. I genuinely would. Things aren't settled there at West Ham at the minute, is it? It's not looking great. In fact, Moyes had to come out and sort of give a couple of excuses there for West Ham not performing in the last game against Arsenal, and I think maybe West Ham could be looking for a change there, and I think maybe Everton will do it.
Straight swap,
part exchange. Yeah. I don't know how. Oh no, Frank used to play for West Ham, didn't he?
Of course he did. Frank came up at West Ham.
Go on, do your Harry Redknapp then.
Oh no.
Bang 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 bada bang bang.
Oh no, I'm not doing it.
All right, maybe later.
I said to Frank, he's got a good head on his shoulders, Frank. He just needs to listen more, you know. He's a good lad. I said to him, son, what are you doing? I said, that's
no, it was good. It wasn't bad.
Got away from me.
Yeah. So look, Wolves are still in the bottom 3 after the win.
Yeah.
On 13 points, they move up to 17th, but they're only a point behind Everton now. Everton need to start getting the skates on, I think, and pushing forward. But we'll talk about them, I think, maybe a little bit later when we talk about potential relegation battles. That was game number 3. Game number 2, Jack?
It has to be
Newcastle 3, Leicester City 0. Good game of football.
Do you think that was number 2? Honestly, look me in the eye. Look, Tom, Look me in the eye.
I don't think it was number 2, but you did, right? And you don't argue with the exec producer, you know what I'm saying?
No, it was.
You don't argue with Simon Cowell, mate. You give him what he wants.
It definitely was. Yeah, cracking game of football for some of the wrong reasons. Obviously, what game are we talking about?
We're talking about Newcastle 3, Leicester 0.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have the Crystal Palace in my mind there.
The most professional football podcast you'll listen to today. If anyone's got any thoughts about any potential co-presenters we could get in.
How confidently I went into that, and I was thinking of the wrong game.
Oh, mate, you Paul Mason that, mate, for sure. I've seen that before.
Jesus.
What game? I love Paul Mason. It's Newcastle 3, Leicester City 0.
Yeah. Obviously a massive result for Newcastle.
Yeah.
Almiron looks an absolute treat of a player.
He's lovely, isn't he?
Yeah. He's a really lovely player.
That give and go he scored for his goal.
Yeah.
And we've said it before. Very Mo Salah.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Very Mo Salah.
And obviously a very stupid penalty given away.
What? A minute and 30 seconds in?
It's ridiculous.
Marty.
Yeah. Marty.
Marty, yeah. Marty McFly. I bet you were like you wish you could get in the DeLorean, mate, and go back.
Oh, jeez.
Because it really did set Leicester up for a
Classic
disaster.
funny jokes, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our kid thinks he's Peter Drury.
Jack Oh, Peter Drury.
Love him.
The boy from Rosario. Yeah, Newcastle climbing up, Leicester in trouble. Obviously, we got up this morning, didn't we, as we mentioned, to watch the Liverpool-Leicester game there at Anfield. I mean, look, I think Leicester are what? They're on 13 points at the minute. They're doing okay. In that way, they're 4 points clear of the relegation battle. I don't think they're going to be getting sucked into that. And I think there's plenty of chance to move forward. But
I think he's in big trouble.
Bren?
I think he's in big trouble, Tom. I honestly do. It's how you turn it round. And look, this morning, great performance at Anfield. A brilliant first half performance.
Great start. It was a brilliant start, wasn't it?
And they finished the half 2-1 and they finished the game 2-1. 2 disgusting own goals.
Disgusting!
2 of the best own goals you've ever seen.
Fires, is it?
Yeah.
I felt sorry for the lad. I didn't. Every time we got the ball, the crowd shouting, "Shoot!"
Yeah.
After 2 own goals, poor kid. I reckon him and Ivan Toney will be seeing each other at one of them.
one of them
match fixing tribunals. But yeah, look, Leicester. I think Leicester are in trouble. They were much better today. They were a threat today, but in that Newcastle game, they were nowhere near the pace. I think Brendan's in trouble. They need big investments, whether they're going to spend it or not. Obviously, Tielemans was dropped 4 today.
What did you think? What did you think of that? I always think that when a coach like Brendan, who is a very attacking-minded coach, leaves out arguably one of the best playmaking midfielders in the league, says a lot about that game today.
Yeah.
He was going there to try and make it difficult, and he did. It was a really good start.
Did,
I think the thing is with Leicester is you could probably go into that team and probably cherry pick a couple of players.
Perez. I'll take Perez from that team. I'll take Tielemans from that team.
Yeah.
And I'll take Fires because he knows where the goal is, mate.
Fires in front of the cop is absolutely sparkling at the minute.
It's better than Nunes.
He's doing he's doing it better than Darwin.
But yeah, I think, and then obviously on the other foot is Newcastle into second after that game. Anyway, I know things move very quickly at the top there, but yeah, Newcastle. Honestly, Tom Stokoe will be enjoying it when I say this. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant, frightening almost.
Yeah,
and why not? Yeah, why not?
And I think obviously Paul, who's a big fan of the pod as well, he's in Sydney and he's a Newcastle fan. Mate, people knock them, but they keep going, don't they?
Yeah,
they keep going. All right, that was game of the week. Second in game of the week, rather, and in game of the week this week, Jack.
Game of the week.
Brentford 2, Spurs 2. Cracking game of football. Go.
Spurs the comeback kings all over again. Brentford started really, really well. I love Brentford. I think I've said it a few times on here. I love Brentford. I bloody hate Bournemouth, but I bloody love Brentford.
Yeah,
They've just got it going on, mate.
If you're a Bournemouth fan, you're listening to this, go and listen to something else. We don't. No, we're only joking.
No.
Oscar's a Bournemouth fan.
Is he? Yeah, well, suck it, Oscar.
Yeah.
Suck them cherries.
Lovely.
Thank you. Brentford, obviously 2-0 up there. 2 quick fire goals. I think a header for the first one. But Brentford's really, really good. But Spurs are the comeback kings at the minute. Obviously,
They've got grit, haven't they?
They've got grit, mate. They've got determination. They've got Harry Kane.
They've got Kane.
And luckily, he weren't taking a penalty today. So, yeah, Harry Kane, header, nice, beautiful, 2-1 back in the game. And then Højbjerg with a run into the box that he scored, which you actually said. What did you say about Højbjerg making that run?
Well, I think with previous managers for Spurs, that their holding midfielder has been very much a holding midfielder, whether it's been Dyer. I mean, it was Dyer at times, wasn't it, under Mourinho, Spurs fans? But, whoever it was who was playing in that holding role, very restricted. Very much like Fabinho at Liverpool. Conte does it different, doesn't he? Whoever's playing in that deeper role at the time has got a lot of license to go forward. And Højbjerg's obviously, he's a good goal scorer as well. And obviously we've seen Bentancur do it quite a few times, haven't we? Jack, Spurs, they're still there, aren't they?
They are. But they give themselves too much of a mountain to climb in the games. That's the problem. You'd like to see them go from foot and play the game with that same energy they finish games with. And if they do that, they can be real challengers.
Yeah.
But until then, you shouldn't have to be conceding 2 goals a game to get a slap in the face to get you back into the game. It's ridiculous.
It's very un-Conte as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's not that sort of coach. He doesn't like to concede a lot of goals at all. Does he?
On the Conte though, he is. Yeah, you know what I mean. They are conceding a lot of goals. Words. So that was the game of the week as chosen by us.
Yeah, and our proud sponsors.
Us.
The Bank of Mum and Dad. Nice one, yours. Yeah. All right, Jack, look, those were the games of the week, but there were some other really good games. I mean, look, we got to talk about Liverpool.
Yeah.
And Villa as well, because obviously we're both Liverpool fans, and Jack picked Villa out.
And I'm a huge Villa
fan. This season. Brilliant game of football.
Yeah.
Really good game of football.
I just want to start off by saying, if anybody wants to buy me a football shirt, that Liverpool 3rd shirt, the green and red, is the sexiest football shirt Liverpool have had in years.
Do you think?
It makes me feel warm. It makes me feel loved. It makes me feel special. Yeah, I love it.
Does it?
Absolutely love it. Yeah. So that's my birthday present off Tom. So it'll be cheaper in March as well.
Yeah. I'll get you it next season.
Yeah, cheers, lads. I'll still wear it. But yeah, Liverpool out there against Villa. Trent Alexander-Arnold, phenomenal.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the pass yet from Boxing Day, so the balls came out from the corner and Trent Alexander-Arnold sort of in like I don't know how you describe it, probably like a quarterback position for Liverpool, and he plays this, it's a half volley outside of his foot, right-footed ball out
Curls
to the
out.
right flank to the left-footed Robertson, who's onside and puts it across for Salah. It's like beautiful football.
Speaking of Robertson, Andy Robinson, MBE.
Yeah, MBE.
Congratulations, Robbo, mate. I know you listen. Probably a bit busy, aren't you?
Yeah, he's chocker full with his MBE
Proper
stuff.
chocker, being an MBE and all that. But Andy, well done, mate. Very, very proud of you. And obviously breaking the assist record for a defender.
Yeah.
54 assists, is it?
54.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it's not bad. Obviously, all the charity work and everything he's done.
Yeah.
Because I think he did a lot. He did a lot in Scotland, didn't he?
Yeah.
For Dundee.
Yeah.
And then a lot in Hull.
Yeah.
And at the minute, there's a lot of Scouse kids out there who are having a nice hot meal thanks to people like Andy Robertson and other players in that area.
Also, Mao, that was his 50th assist in that game.
Was it?
Yeah.
And he's always been criticised, hasn't he?
Yeah,
for
not passing
being
the ball.
Greedy. Jack, as well, before we move on, that Crystal Palace game.
Oh, love it.
The game you wanted to talk about earlier in Game of the Week.
Proper cracker of a game. Maybe I should have put that in Game of the Week. Maybe it just missed out. But yeah, the first red card I think is very, very, very harsh. I know you think it was a red card. That for me is There's nothing in that.
I think
There's
what it was,
nothing in that.
like I knew there was 2 red cards in a game before I seen it. So when I seen the tackle, the red card tackle, I said straight away, didn't I? Red card.
Yeah.
I think probably looking back on it, it's probably a little bit harsh.
But I think it's a bit harsh.
I think there was a similar one in the Liverpool game today that at the time I thought was a red card, and then on Thiago, I think.
Yeah. Osamari, I think it was, who went in.
And then the second one.
Well,
Tompkins.
Tom. Tommy. Thomas. Look, the first one, he's pulled his shirt. He's went back for a bit of afters. The second one, absolutely brilliant, though. He gets a yellow card for, he's impeding play. He's impeding Mitrovic. It's obstruction. But the referee gives him a second yellow card and forgets that he's already booked him. And the Fulham fans are cheering, screaming about it. And eventually he does get the red card for it. But yeah, and then, look, how lucky are they that they were playing against Fulham? I know I say lucky. Mitrovic, 2 assists and a goal. Brilliant. Unplayable when he wants to be that lad.
He really is, isn't he? Like, we were obviously on the bandwagon early on, weren't we, in the season? And he was definitely in my fantasy team. I wish I had kept him in, because he's just doing really well. And I think it'd be interesting to see his goals are up there, his assists are really good. You know, he's not just a big number 9 who's very rigid and has to stay between the posts. Fulham fans won't like it, but there could be a couple of clubs playing in Europe next season who'd fancy a player like him to come
100%.
in. I mean, it's sort of got a Chelsea move all over it, hasn't it?
Really?
Yeah,
100%.
It sort of has. But no, look, great games of football this week. I mean, to be honest, you know, what can you do? Oh, Jack's making hand gestures. What's the hand gesture?
A coffee.
Oh, Jack wants a coffee. We're going to go and get a coffee.
But first.
Oh, yeah.
But first.
Yeah, new section. Well, new bit of the section.
New bit of the section. We haven't really... we spoke about the drop your hot dog thing, those screamers that are just unbelievable.
Yeah.
So we're bringing that in, and it's the drop your hot dog awards this week goes to Solly March, who hit an absolute rifle of a screamer.
Pele.
Beautiful, mate, for Brighton.
Yeah.
Brighton's second goal, I think. It was a stunning goal. So, mate, your hot dog's in the post, Solly.
It's coming from Australia,
Yeah.
Solly. So, Solly March.
Solly, mate.
So yeah, enjoy that. So it'd be interesting to see if anyone thinks that maybe someone else should have got the drop your hot dog.
Drop your hot dog
award. Right, okay. I think I will make Jack that coffee. You always make the boss a coffee. You know how it is. And when we come back, Jack, Courtney's going to do I tell you what, the World Roundup's pre-recorded. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and have a coffee.
Yeah.
Then in the edit, we're going to play the pre-recorded
and then
roundup.
we'll put that in.
Yeah, that's what we'll do.
I might go for a poo as well, then.
And then when we come back, I think we should do story time.
Okay.
All right. See you soon, guys.
Hey guys, welcome back to the World Roundup. Now, we don't see Women's Super League games back until the 14th of January. However, we can have a look at the Women's Champions League that is just getting heated. This week we saw some incredibly high-scoring games where Real Madrid beat Vlasnia 5-1, Barcelona won 6-0 to Rosengard, Wolfsburg beat St. Polten 8-2, and just when you think the scores can't get any higher, Arsenal managed a whopping 9-1 win against Zurich. Savage. These results will affect the quarter-final matches that will be played in March next year. Now over to La Liga, that is back in action. We see Barcelona sitting at the top of the table, just 3 points ahead of Real Madrid. Real Madrid has an incredible 13 of their players that went off to play in the World Cup this year, and Barcelona just broke their record for 17 of their players making it over to Qatar. So it will be interesting to see how this might affect their gameplay coming back to the season. In saying that, Atletico Madrid, who are currently sitting third on the table, have 3 players who represented Argentina in the World Cup, so will the rush of winning help them climb the ladder back home? We'll have to wait and see. This week, La Liga sadly took a minute of silence for football legend Pele, who died at the age of 82. Pele won 3 World Cups, was joint top scorer for Brazil with 77 goals in 92 games, and will be continued to be known as the King of Football. Jumping over to France, the Ligue 1 has started back and PSG are sitting at the top of the table very comfortably 7 points ahead of Lens. Again, a team who are jam-packed with World Cup players, including, of course, Golden Boot Mbappe and the GOAT himself, Messi. It's hard to imagine PSG not retaining their title with that sort of firepower, although stranger things have happened. That's all for the World Roundup this week. My name's Courtney. Now you're all caught up.
Get yourself a nice warm milk or a drink of your choice, because we're about to tell you a football-related story. Right, so the idea with this is that there's obviously loads of brilliant stories that you hear about football. And I think the brilliant thing now about Twitter is that there's such a vast amount of information out there. Jack found a Twitter feed.
Yeah, a thread.
A thread?
Tom doesn't know Twitter.
I'm really bad, you know. So Jack found this and he said, right, come on, we've got to talk about this on the podcast, Jack.
So this comes from @couchniche or @couchniche. Sorry, mate.
I think it's niche.
I'm gonna tag this guy on Twitter afterwards. So
yeah, please do.
He might be happy. He might not be happy that we told his story. It begins. I'm going to tell you a story about a footballer who managed to sign professional club contracts for over 12 years but never played a game. Sit tight.
So a little bit of context here as well. He played for Botafogo, Flamengo, Puebla, Botafogo again, Flamengo, Independiente, Bangu, Gazalech, Flamengo again, Bangu again, Fluminense, Vasco da Gama, El Paso, Six Shooters.
Great name.
Awesome. I love that name, John. He played for America, the club, and back again to Botafogo, unbelievably. Never played a game. Introducing Carlos Enrique Raposo, born 2nd of April, 1963. That's the year after me. A.K.A. Carlos Kaiser, a legendary con man who wants to be a footballer but didn't want to play football. This is how he did it.
Carlos Raposo began his youth career at Botafogo, then moved to Flamenco in 1979. He impressed the scouts at Puebla during a training session and was signed by the Mexican club, although he was released months after without playing a single match.
He returned to Brazil and became friends with many footballers such as Carlos Alberto Torres, Ricardo Rocha,
great name,
and Renato Gaucho. Gaucho was the guy who he had bow legs.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. So that he would have a big network to be recommended wherever he needed to transfer to a new club.
His fraud consisted of signing a short contract and stating that he was lacking match fitness so that he would spend the first weeks only with physical training where he could shine. When he had to train with other players, he would feign a hamstring injury.
He had a dentist who claimed he had a focal infection.
That's nasty.
Whenever any club wanted to go further. By following these steps, he managed to stay a few months at various clubs, just training and without ever being exposed as a fraud.
Another tactic was to befriend journalists so that they would write fictional stories about him. One article written stated that he was the Mexican government wanted him to become a citizen so he could play for their national team.
It's sort of like what we were talking about with Mario Balotelli last week, isn't it? About the stories. Got a quick side note. Did you hear that Muhammad Ali, his mate was a journalist, and he used to get him to write these mad stories about
Maybe
him.
we'll tell that in story time next week. But this story we're telling now, Tom, is about Enrique.
I keep getting sidetracked. He also used a toy mobile phone, expensive and uncommon at the time, to create fake conversations in foreign languages or reject non-existent transfer offers to create an image of himself as a valuable player.
In 1986, he allegedly moved to Europe and joined French Division 2 club Gazalec
Casio, I think.
Oh, perfect pronunciation. Where a friend was playing. At his presentation, the club arranged a training session with the fans And afraid of being caught, he shot all the balls into the crowd while kissing the club's badge.
He barely played at the club and returned to Brazil the following year, although his friendship with journalists later earned him an article where he was depicted as a top goal scorer for
Gazaleka.
where he played for 8 seasons.
Returning to Brazil, he joined Bangu, where he again used his fake injury scam. However, Casta de Andrade, the club's major sponsor and patron, became tired of seeing him just training. During one match, Casta told the coach to play him as the team was losing 2-0.
When Kaiser was sent to warm up, he saw a group of supporters shouting abuse at the players and started to fight them, for which he immediately received a red card without even participating in the actual match.
Kaiser, who also had a spell at Fluminense, where together with his injury scam, he again used a toy mobile phone to pretend to reject offers from other clubs, stating that he was happy at the club, but was caught by an assistant.
Awesome. In November 2015, Kaiser signed an exclusive agreement with a UK production company, Nods and Volleys Entertainment Limited, which was specifically incorporated to tell his story on all media formats.
Kaiser, the greatest footballer never to play football, at its world premiere at the Tribeca Film Festival on the 21st of April 2018. The film features contributions from Carlos Alberto Torres, Zico, Renato Gacho, Bebeto, Junior and Ricardo Roca.
So that is the story
Story time with Tom and Jack.
of the Kaiser.
Thank you to Couchnish, at Couchnish, if you want to follow him. It's at COUCHNISH on Twitter. Give him a follow. Send him some love. We're going to do that right after we do this.
Yeah, brilliant.
Awesome, Fred.
Can you believe this guy's story?
It's
he got away
amazing.
with it for so long,
amazing.
man.
Wouldn't you just want the experience just one time, though, to go on and play?
But then he gets found out, doesn't he? It's
Yeah,
like
but-
me. I used to tell everyone I was an underwear model,
Yeah.
but no one ever seen the pictures, did they?
No, it's true, yeah. People never looked at your body type, shape, or package size and realised that could never be true.
Absolutely disgustingly harsh. So that's the story. We hope you enjoyed it, and if you've got any stories like that you want us to talk about,
Or butcher the names of places in, we will.
yeah, let us know.
Gazeko. And we are back for the greatest game ever made. There are 3 sides to every story. Your side, their side, and the truth. But there's only 2 sides to the football world. Left Foot, Right Foot is back. And we are joined by our father and proud sponsor of the podcast without knowing it. Our inheritance is actually paying for this podcast. You're welcome, people. Welcome, David.
Thank you very much, boys. It's great to be here.
Dad, we've heard rumours that you're a bit of an old school disc jockey. Is that correct?
Not old school. I like a bit of the modern school as well. You know, a bit of upbeat.
What would be your ultimate karaoke song, do you think, Dad?
Well, as you know, Bridge Over Troubled Waters is a great song.
Nice. You sing it exceptionally well.
At my 18th birthday party, we had karaoke.
I forgot about this.
Yeah, and my dad got up in front of all my 18-year-old mates and sang The Drugs Don't Work.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was good.
But killed the vibe.
Killed the vibe a little bit.
Yeah.
So, Dad...
Rumour has it Big John hasn't had MDMA since.
It was a true story, though, yeah?
Yeah, it was. The Verve knew what they were talking about. So, Dad, obviously you listen to the pod every week, don't you? You never miss one, do you?
Not at all, no. No, I'm an avid listener.
Yeah.
Love it.
I know you haven't done this before, but speak into the mic, not into your armpit, you big meth. All right, into the mic.
So hard, Tom, like that.
That's absolutely horrible. Right, so, Dad, obviously you know the game Left Foot, Right Foot. Jack's going to give us the name of 5 players from Premier League history. And then we have to write down whether we think it's left foot or right foot.
Okay.
It's a game when everyone wins and almost no one wins at the same time.
Yeah, it's a very simple game and it's a sexy game as well. Okay. Numero 1. Ederson. Man City's goalkeeper. Great hair, mad tattoos.
And there's no double-footed ones, is there?
No.
Because he's caught me out on this one
Don't do that
before.
anymore. It's not fair. It's not right for the people at home.
It's hard.
Also, make sure you've got pens and papers out, people.
Oh, yeah.
We usually say that, but my dad came in talking to his armpit.
Do these yourself at home?
Do them yourself.
You know what?
Don't be looking at his answers.
I'm not.
Dad?
I've already got mine down.
You've already got it. Okay.
I'm not telling you what my dad... I can see what my dad's written. I'm not going to ruin it for anyone. But he said left.
Did he?
I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but I said right.
Don't ruin it for anyone. I wonder if someone at home went, I haven't put either of those answers down.
Who'd you go with, me or yours?
It's a 50-50 game, people.
It is 50-50, so...
Number 2, John Obi Mikel. Chelsea legend.
John Obi Mikel, Champions League
Wasn't as quite good. It wasn't quite as good as Makelele, even though he played that role. But he was great on FIFA, and I always used to sign him.
Yeah, I think he was a Mourinho favourite, wasn't he?
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, number 3, Jan Vertonghen. Spurs and Belgium legend. He was a centre-half who I thought Liverpool could have done with, and we never signed him. But at least we got scale.
That was probably one of the best Premier League centre-back pairings, wasn't it? Him and Alderweireld at Spurs. They were pretty good.
Was quite good.
But I think maybe they were a bit too old for Belgium in the World Cup.
Yeah. Well,
one was 42 and one was 43, wasn't he?
Alderweireld is also Dutch.
No, he's not.
He is.
He's Belgium.
Alderweireld is Dutch.
No, he's not.
He is.
He's not. They both play for Belgium in the World Cup.
They don't. Their pairing was Vertonghen and Company.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
Company's been retired.
Oh my
3 years.
God. Am I Googling this?
Oh.
Alderweireld.
Do you want me to put elevator music in this bit?
Yeah.
Alderweireld is definitely Belgian.
Yeah, he is. I was just joking, everyone. But this isn't Dutch or Flemish.
No, it's not.
It's left foot, right foot.
Yeah, okay.
Silly me. I feel bad about that. I'll cut that out.
All right.
Mikel Antonio.
Mikel Antonio. Big hammer.
The big hammer. Loves the celebration. Bursting out of his shirts.
Just looking at my dad's answers.
bit like me.
Yeah, a bit like me.
Bit like me tar for different reasons.
Yeah.
Turkey hips over here.
Go on. What are we on? 5.
Number 5, a player who I personally think could have done it all. Played for Bayern Munich as a youngster and then was transferred to Swansea. Renato Sanchez, the Portuguese lad. Dreadlocks.
I think he's...
He had it all.
I think he's playing for PSG. I think they signed him from Nice or something, but I don't think he plays.
He's not killing it, mate. He's not killing it.
All right.
He had it all, mate.
I'm not sure about that.
He had it all. He had it all.
He was good
in
on
the palm of his hands.
Good on FIFA as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, we're a footy podcast, and all we do is talk about FIFA. All right, guys, pens and papers down. Dave, I'll start with you.
Yeah.
Edison, left foot or right foot?
I've got him down as left foot.
Thomas?
Right.
Dave was correct. Edison is left-footed.
It's amazing how many goalkeepers are left-footers.
The best ones are. I was right-footed, wasn't I?
Yeah, but you were okay. You were okay.
Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Dad. Number 2, John Obi Mikel.
I went right-footed.
I've gone also left foot.
Tom's correct on that one. 1-1.
1-1.
Let me just get my fingers out. Yep, 1-1. All right.
Oh, my dad's actually marking them off on this paper.
Oh, he's so cute, isn't he?
Yeah, all right. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it as well.
All right. Mikel Antonio. Oh, no, sorry, Jan Vertonghen.
I've gone right foot.
I've gone left foot.
Jan Vertonghen is left-footed.
I was confident on that
when
one.
he's playing with Alderweireld at Alderweireld, I think of you.
Holland.
Yeah, for Holland, they're always great together. Mikel Antonio.
I've gone right-footed.
Sorry, Mikel Antonio.
Right-footed.
Left foot or right foot, Dad? That's the questions here, yeah? don't jump in, yeah?
He gets annoyed when you answer.
Speak when you're spoken to, yours, yeah?
Yeah, it's called left foot, right foot, not right-footed.
Yeah.
Go on. Go on, ask the question.
Making it a silly... Mikel Antonio, left foot or right foot?
Right foot.
Tom?
I've gone right-footed as well.
He is right-footed.
Nice one, yours.
That'll be 2-2.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh, the big one, the tiebreaker.
Yeah, it's a big one.
The big winner. Finally, Renato Sanchez.
Well, I think he's...
Dad, I haven't asked the question. Left foot or right foot?
Right-footed.
I've gone right-footed as well.
Oh, no.
I've gone right-footed there,
It's
Chief.
3-3.
It's 3-3, is it?
It's 3-3, and I haven't got a tie break. Play some elevator music, Tom, in the edit.
All right, I'm playing it.
So, Dad, who's your favourite son?
You're both annoying it.
Which son is better at football? Me or Jack?
Better or more committed?
Better.
I would say more skillful is Tom. More committed, I would say Jack.
I'll take committed.
I'll take skillful.
David Bentley.
David Bentley.
Left foot or right foot?
All right. There's going to be a lot of elevator music in this part of the pod.
Okay.
I think Jack's just double checking it. He's Googling it. Yeah. Go on then, Dad.
Okay.
What do you think, Dad?
I'm just waiting for the question.
Oh, funny that.
He's onto it.
David Bentley now owns a Spanish bar. Retired at 30, yeah. Crazy. Is it a bar or a pub? David Bentley, left foot, right foot. Which one?
I think he's left-footed.
I think he's right-footed, and the reason I think it, right, is that once Harry Redknapp said that he didn't need to sign David Beckham because he had David Bentley, and I've just added them two together.
All right. Well, I don't actually know. I can't find it. But well done anyway. Thanks everyone for playing. He's right-footed. Well done, Dave. Oh, no. Did you say left? Sucker!
Tom the Ozman wins it.
Tom played. Well done, Dave. Thanks for joining in.
Good game.
Okay, I quite enjoyed that, to be honest. But I did think Bentley was left-footed.
Well, he might be. I just did a quick Google search.
I mean, it's possible. Jack gets all his answers from Wikipedia. Before we let me dad go, Jack, because it's New Year's Eve tonight, isn't it? So my dad's got loads of stuff to do there that my mum's asked him to do. What's my mum got you to do there today, Dad?
Oh, she said to me, just go and relax and have a couple of beers and put your feet up and have a little swim, she said, and go and enjoy yourself.
It's not April Fool's, Dad. Before you go, Dad, obviously Pele's left us this week. For you, was he the greatest of all time? And who was your sort of favourite players growing up and when you were younger?
I think Pele, undoubtedly, for a long time, has been classed as the greatest player ever. And you know, we all salute him and honour his games that he played. And then we were quite blessed that he came to England in the 60s for the World Cup. Just before my time, but seen a lot of the highlights of it. Got a lot of kicked them off the park a little bit. But the later years, you know, you've got your Messi's coming through. I mean, for me, watching Ian Rush and Kenny Dalglish, Ian Callaghan, John Toshak. I mean, I'd have many conversations with my dad, and he would always say that Ian Callaghan, John Toshak, and I would say Ian Rush and Kenny Dalglish. So there's been a number of players over the years, and you've got to also bring into the thought process of Paul Gascoigne, another great player. But for me, overall, best player in the world ever, Pele.
Brilliant.
Well, thank you, Dave.
Yeah, thanks for
Appreciate you coming in.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes, it's been absolutely fantastic. Just finished me round of golf and being brought in to talk on the podcast about football. It's great.
How did you play?
Played really well. Scored 37 points, one on the par, playing off handicap of 7.
Well, it turns out, there you go, me dad, better at golf than he is left foot, right foot. Jack, let's go to a break, mate, and when we come back, it's questions from all around the world, from the people we love the most. It's Quickfire Forum. Right, we're back, and here we are now for, I think, arguably our favourite part of the show, isn't it? Maybe apart from the World Roundup with Courtney.
You're all caught up.
You're all caught up, Court. This is the Quickfire Forum. We've got 3 voice notes in this week. So thanks to everyone who sends in the voice notes. At the moment, we're selecting 3. But send in as many as you can because we can disperse them throughout the show. Jack, first voice note is from our beloved Geordie Supreme, Tom Stoko.
What a man.
Let's play the voice note and then we'll give our thoughts.
Hi gents, I hope you're well. It's great to see the Premier League back after a really exciting World Cup. I believe that there are 8 teams with a credible chance of a top 4 place and the bottom is even closer, with 3 points separating the bottom 6 teams. Who are the 3 teams that you think will be relegated?
Okay, Jack. We spoke last week about the top 4.
Yeah.
We never got on to the bottom 3 because the show was like 3.5 hours long or something last week.
Yeah.
Tom wants to know bottom 3. Let's hear it. It's nice to do the bottom 3 and not mention Newcastle, eh, Tom? Isn't that a bit of a change, fella, eh?
I'm sorry, Everton fans.
Should we give the current bottom 3?
Go on, give the current bottom.
18th place, Wolverhampton Wanderers, 13 points. 19th place, Nottingham Forest, 13 points. Southampton, 20th, 12 points. And then just there, you've got Everton on 14 points, West Ham on 14 points.
Everton have got a game in hand, though, haven't they?
No.
No?
Leeds have got 15 points, Bournemouth 16
no.
points, and then Leicester 17 points, and that's probably your lot.
I think, again, sorry, Everton fans, I think Everton are going down.
You really think they're going down?
I think they're going down. I think it's probably time. They probably need it. Obviously, they survived last year, and it was awesome how they survived. Maybe Frank can do it again and keep them up again. But if you're Everton, are you happy with that? I don't think you are whatsoever. After having Carlo and having the season that they had in lockdown when they couldn't scream and moan at the players. No, I'm kidding. But Everton as a club deserve better, and he's not doing them a service. I think they'll let him stay. I think they'll let him try and. I think they'll have absolute faith and belief he'll keep them up again, and then they'll reassess in the summer. But if he can't keep them up, then they're starting again, unfortunately. But I think Everton for me, Tom.
Who else?
Nottingham Forest. They've got too many bloody players who've just met each other.
Yeah. Alex Hensley won't be happy with that.
No, too many of them. Just too many of them. They're all finding each other's feet. I seen your favourite player. What's his name? Jay Lings. Jay Lings, bro. Yeah, bro. He's
Jesse Lingard.
Yeah, Jay Lings.
Yeah.
Jay Lings, he likes to call himself. He does the...
Can't stand him.
Can't stand him. What a prospect he is at the age of 28. Seeing him after the United game, United tonked him and he's there smiling with Rashford and all.
Swapping shirts.
Yeah. That club is going down. And I'm sorry to say it, Nottingham Forest fans, you've got a great history, a great club, but I don't think you're going to make the cut. And then Southampton, who again I probably think it's time for. They've sold all the best players. Obviously, they've still got like Ward Prowse in there and a few others who are good, but that team just looks depleted. They've got a lack of confidence, a lack of anything really, and I think Southampton are going down. I feel bad saying it. I'd like to see Southampton go down. Because then maybe they'll give the youngsters a chance again, and then we'll sign them for Liverpool in 5 years.
I think I think at the start of the season I think the first game of the season was against Spurs.
Yeah.
I think they got beat 4-0, and we said, oh well, they won't be too disappointed with that. They'll be okay. They'll be all right. Yeah. They'll get a couple of Tonkins this year, but they'll be fine. Yeah. Tonkins, who plays for Crystal Palace.
You're thinking of Thomas.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So, and obviously they changed the manager. Look, I think to be honest, I agree on 2 of those fronts. I think that Southampton and Nottingham Forest will go down. Although, I mean, I think both teams have come up with a couple of shocks this season. So you never know. Wolves are in the relegation zone at the moment, and I do fancy them to get out. Genuinely, I think that we could see Leeds drop in. Leeds at the minute are on 15 points in 15th position. I just don't know, man. I just don't know, because the reason I say that is I think that below them, West Ham United, David Moyes won't get relegated.
No, doesn't get relegated, mate.
He won't get relegated. Like, if he sort of has to just change his tack for the rest of the season and say, you know what, we'll either win 1-0 or we'll draw 1-1.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And we're just going to close the shop.
I don't think West Ham are worried either. I wouldn't be worried if I was at West Ham.
Well, maybe not, but to be honest, Jack, look, I think they should be a lot higher in the table.
Yeah.
That's why I picked them for my team this year. And then Everton have never been relegated in the history of the club. And we give Everton fans a bit of stick because, you know, I think at times it's been a very difficult environment for the club and things like that. One thing's for sure, you know, in that run-in, no matter where Everton are, 8 games to go, Goodison Park's rocking.
Yeah.
It's absolutely rocking.
They're treating it like the team's about to win the title. That's
Yeah.
what they did, and it was amazing what Everton did last season because they carried that team.
And I think they'll do it again.
Yeah.
And so I think Everton will stay up, and I don't want them to get relegated either.
No, I don't want them to.
You know, that's 6 points a year Liverpool are losing there if Everton get relegated.
No, seriously though, I don't want Everton to go down. I think they will, but I don't want them to because of what it means for the city, what it means for jobs and everything, tourism, the lot. They've got a brand new stadium getting built there, which is keeping a lot of people in work.
Yeah.
In Merseyside, so I don't want them to go down. I may make that categorically clear. I do not want them to go down.
By the way, delighted on 2 fronts. The other week, when John was on, we were talking about Chicago Fire, and I couldn't name the Everton player who played for Chicago Fire.
Yeah.
Jake McGibbon messaged in.
Yeah.
How's it going, Jake? It was Kevin McBride.
McBride.
Kevin McBride. And I'm sure they won't mind us mentioning it on the podcast. Jake and Natasha, I don't know if you remember a little while ago there, they sent us in a message, and it was all about mental health and keeping an eye.
A message in a mate. That's that campaign with Champion.
Keeping an eye on people. They were going through a really difficult time. They went to New York. Jake's popped the question. She said yes.
She said yes.
Bish, bash, bosh, getting married.
It's a nice day to start again. Kevin McBride singing. Hey, little sister, what have you done?
So what I'm saying is that if we talk about it enough, there's an invite there to the wedding, isn't there?
Yeah.
No, guys, honestly, congratulations. We're made up for you.
Congrats.
We really are.
Yeah.
And with a diamond that size, she couldn't say no, could she, Jakey boy?
Hey, the ring was nice as well.
So that was question 1. It was a bit of a long answer.
Quickfire Forum.
Yeah, the long fire forum. Question number 2. This one sent in by big friend of the pod and unfortunate Chelsea fan Michael. Let's hear it, mate.
Hey boys, it's your favourite Chelsea fan, Mr. Michael Southam here. Down in Canberra, what a weekend of Premier League action. Chelsea 2-0 up against Bournemouth, what a result. Another good result, Liverpool finally getting back to winning ways. Boys, a question for you. What is Darwin Núñez doing? Should he be in the starting 11? Happy for you to discuss.
Cheers, Mick. Thanks for sending that in, mate. We know you're up the wall, mate. He's a super busy fella, you know what I mean? Never answers my calls. Darwin Núñez, Jack. Brilliant start to the season. Mm-hmm. I mean, is it all a bit of an overreaction? He's had a couple of games there where he's not managed to hit a barn door, has he? Yeah. Let's be honest.
Kai Havertz, Romelu Lukaku, Grealish, Pepe. These are players that all cost more than Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez has made an impact at Liverpool. He's got, 9 goals and 2 assists in 19 games?
4 assists.
4 assists?
Yeah.
19 games. These players don't get spoken about the same way that he does. I feel like he's went to the World Cup and people forgot what he was doing before the World Cup. And he's come back and he struggled against Villa, but he was brilliant, Tom. He was in and about it. He was everywhere. He had a couple of chances today against Leicester. He had the shot off the post, which our mate Fires got in for us.
Great finish by
Great
Fires.
finish. What a player. What a baller.
As a quick side note, by the way, when that second own goal went in.
Yeah.
Mo Salah.
Grabbing
almost
his head.
Put his hand on his head as if to say, no way.
No way, fires, mate.
2 own goals.
But yeah, look, Darwin, he's in and about it. And I think the most important thing for a striker is to be in and about it because they do go in. Luis Suarez played for Liverpool and he's also Uruguayan. And I remember he'd have 5 shots in a game and one of them might go in. John Aldridge, the legend, sat on TalkSport or whatever it was, Radio City, whatever it was.
City, yeah.
And he said, I don't think he's a natural goal scorer. He shouldn't be having that many chances, rah. And the next season, Suarez scored 32. I think Darwin Núñez is going... Eventually, they're all going to start flying in. He's probably had a better Champions League than he has Premier League to a start at Liverpool. Getting his temper under control after he got sent off. And he seems a bit mad and erratic, but he's in the right areas. And if he's in the right areas, they're going to go in. If he weren't getting into those areas, I'd be there writing him off. People calling him Andy Carroll Mark II and all that. Núñez is creating stuff that we wouldn't be creating unless he was there. He's in and around it. They will go in. They will. I'm putting my mum and dad's house on it. They will go in. I've got a house.
I think you know, he will be in the top 5 scorers in the league this season. You know, I think Haaland will win the Golden Boot.
100%.
Haaland, Kane, Salah, and then I think Núñez is in that mix.
Mitro will be up there as well.
Mitro.
But look, he's very quietly going to donkey his way. He'll get 20 this season. He will get 20 in all comps.
By the way, how funny was me dad calling Tony Adams a donkey? One of the most decorated players in the game.
Tony Adams, donkey. I can't wait to have Tony Adams on here. And he says, your dad's a
lovely fella.
But yeah, I think he's going to be all right.
Yeah,
Núñez is going to be more than fine. And I'm going to... Look, I don't get it. I don't get where all these negative things come from for him because he's in and around it.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think it's one of them things, isn't it? It's he's there to have a popper. He's missing, you know, you miss big chances. You know, I think being a great goal scorer isn't just about numbers. It's about scoring in the moments.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be a lot of the making of whether he'll be a big success because, you know, you look at down the years, you look at the best goal scorers in the Premier League. Yes, they score a lot of goals, but they score big goals, big moments, cup finals, league title run-ins, all that sort of stuff. So we'll see. But Mick, I don't think we're too worried about Darwin at the moment. At the moment. We're not worried about Darwin at the moment, Michael.
I have to smell the hamburger.
We're not worried about it. But Mick, thanks for sending in your message, mate.
Yeah, Mick, thank you.
Always interested to hear your
Change
thoughts,
your club,
mate. Yeah, great footballer, you know, Michael.
Is Michael a good footballer?
Very good footballer.
Aye.
Very good footballer. Played 4-a-side with him, but I marked him out the game, didn't I?
Did you? Yeah. It's like getting marked by a chest of drawers, mate.
Yeah, he couldn't get round me, mate.
Get marked by a fridge freezer.
Yeah, thanks, Jack. So that was number 2 in the Quickfire Forum. Last week we spoke about Arsenal, didn't we? I sent Irish Steve a message, big friend of the pod, and I said, Steve, we're going to be talking about Arsenal this week. Will you send us a voice note? And he didn't.
Right.
And then after the
Carbs.
Carbs.
Can we just tell that story about Steve?
Yeah, go on.
Steve came to stay with us in Liverpool. This must have been about 6 years ago, 7 years ago, maybe.
I was at uni, wasn't I?
How many years ago were you in uni? 20 years ago?
2012-ish.
Let's call it 10 years ago. Let's call it 10 years ago. Steve came to stay. We met him in town. We went and got boozy. Came home. It was on like a Wednesday night. And he's sat there and we had Sainsbury's sausage rolls, the mini sausage rolls, there's a pack of 30 of them or whatever. And he's eating them and he's got his top off and he's ripping the pastry off the inside of the sausage roll. He's rolling it up in his hand and he's going, carbs, bad for you. And he put it down and then just eat like the sausage part of it. And then he just kept doing it. And I'm watching like 10 quid's worth of pastry just get dropped.
Yeah, Jack only eats the pastry and then Steve just get his sweaty fingers all over it.
Carbs. You don't want this, lad. It's bad. Carbs. What was Steve's question, Tom?
All right, lads and lassies. Right, so great show as always. So what I'm going to do today is talk about my favourite subject, and that is Arsenal Football Club. And I'm gonna start by asking two questions of which I'm going to answer. Right, the first question is, will Arsenal win the Premier League? Now, my head says no. Okay, but then that brings me on to my next question: can Arsenal win the Premier League? Absolutely. Absolutely they can. Why can't they? Now I'm not getting carried away, okay? I'm not going to get too carried away. But there's just a few things happening within this squad that, you know, I haven't seen. I honestly have not seen since the Henry era. Let's not call it the Invincible era. I hate that whole fucking terminology, the Invincibles, because if anyone can remember that season, there was a lot of them games that would fucking bore the death of you, right? And that's just my that's my honest opinion. I think the team in 2006 that got the Champions League final played a better style of football, okay? But what I will say is that this team has something special happening in it, and I think it stems from the manager. And we all know great teams are led by great managers. You know, we look at, I hate to say it, but like, look at Alex Ferguson, look what Mourinho did at Chelsea. You know, look at Klopp, look at Pep. You know what I mean? You know, and I think Arteta is starting to carve this style of football. You know, of which, let's not forget, this man has played under Arsene Wenger. You know, that changed English football, you know, to its core. He's learned a lot from Pep. So. And then he brings his own, you know, he demands 100% dedication from every player, you know, and you can see that throughout the squad, you know. And what's more important for me, you know, yes, he's got the players playing well, you know, he's got them fighting for every fucking blade of grass, but the recruitment, I think, has been so fucking on point, you know, and not just with signings. But more importantly, it's the deadwood he got rid of. You know, like, to name a few, you know, Mesut Ozil, Guendouzi, Lacazette, fucking Mkhitaryan, Socrates, you know, Chambers, Joe Willock, David Luiz, Willian. Like, what are they even doing at the fucking club? Mustafi, do you remember him? Fucking hell. You know, and then obviously the big one, Aubameyang. And I think that was a major turning point for my club, because once Aubameyang got shown the door by Arteta, by the club, you know, by Edu, everyone backed the manager, and that made every single fucking player in that dressing room sit up and go, do you know what? None of us are safe. And then once he got rid of them, like, new signings like Xhaka, Saliba, Martinelli. You know, these are players that's been at the club for a long time. I know, right, Saliba has been out on loan, but they're like new signings. Xhaka is playing almost like a number 10. It's ridiculous. A couple of years ago, we were calling for him to get out of the club, me included. I'll hold my hands up to that. I wanted him out of the club, and now, now people are questioning him, like, why isn't he wearing the captain's armband now? No, take it off Odegaard. Odegaard as well. Look at that guy. You know, look at that guy. Saka. These players have turned the corner where I think they're actually now believing. They won't say it, like a lot of Arsenal fans, we won't say it, you know, but they're starting to believe. And let me just put some facts out there for you, right, this season. So, Man City, right, have played 8 home games and 6 away games, all right? Arsenal have played only 6 home games and 8 away games. Yeah, just let that linger for a second, you know what I mean? And another one to add is that we have played all of the top 6 bar Man City, and Man City have played none. Just let that sink in for a minute, you know? Let that sink in, you know? And then we talk about, even what's fantastic is that I'm even having this conversation, putting Arsenal head to head against Man City. You know, if you had said that to me at the start of the season, I'd have I'd have thought you were on crack, selling yourself. But, the team there has a vision. They're playing with freedom. They're playing with purpose. Every man knows his role. On the likes of Emery, the players didn't even know what fucking stadium they were playing in some of the times, let alone what position they were in. So, with all that sort of digested now, I go back to the same two questions I started with. Will Arsenal win the league? Can Arsenal win the league? They absolutely fucking can win this league. Absolutely can. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this, boys and girls. Holler back at me. Steve Duffy, signing out.
Why I Love Arsenal by Stephen Duffy. No, Steve, that's a Northern Irish accent, I'm sorry.
Carbs. Bloody carbs.
Look, the guy's talking sense.
He's talking a lot of sense. That what he said about the opening games, the home games, and playing the top 6 and all that.
Yeah.
Look, Arsenal can.
They can, Steve.
They bloody can.
They can. Steve did an amazing thing there where he posed 2 questions and only answered one of them.
Yeah.
Steve, are they going to win the league, mate?
Absolutely, yes.
They can.
I'm excited about that passion to see that from Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
Arsenal became a bit of a joke of a club. No offence. No, I don't mean it offensively. Aubameyang there, and he treated them like a joke. And Steve's right in what he said. Arteta, the balls he's shown to just get rid of him. Get rid of your captain.
Yeah.
And it did put them all on notice, and it's done something amazing. The bad apple thing of getting rid of the bad apples to make the rest of the group shine. And that's what he's done. And the team looks brilliant.
Yeah.
He's right, that Invincible team was boring. I've watched games back from that period. They drew so many games.
Yeah.
That Arsenal 2006 team was brilliant. This team has got a bit of everything. I just want to know that when the going gets tough,
the tough
gets going, yeah. Will they still be in it? You know what I mean? The beaten team, they are beaten teams.
They're showing grittiness, aren't they? They were getting beat there by West Ham the other day.
Yeah.
And they came back.
Yeah, but they should beat West Ham.
I know, but it's easy to say that.
I know,
There's
but
20 teams in this division, right? And you should beat a whole bunch of them. If you're gonna win the title, you have to win. You've got to beat most of them.
Have you seen this? It's a video compilation of different players and managers saying there's no easy games in football.
Oh, really?
It's so good. It's like 5 minutes long, but I know that's what you're gonna say.
Yeah, there's no easy games in football.
There's no easy games in football. Steve Bruce, he said, there's no easy games in football. Sometimes you win.
What did Brooks?
Sometimes you lose.
What did Brooks from Shawshank Redemption say?
I don't know if anybody will miss an old con like me. The boss man says I've lost it. Look.
Yeah.
But they should beat West Ham. You want to win the title? West Ham, walk through them, mate. Do you walk through them? It's whether they can just continue with it. And Steve, if it's you or City, mate, I want you to win the league. I'm sick of seeing City do it. It'd be nice for someone else to do it. And you know what? I hope people get behind Arsenal because teams never got behind Liverpool. People wanted City to still win that league.
People hate Liverpool, Jack.
They do. But
it's because we're mouthy.
I know we are. And they do podcasts and people don't ask for them. But
they do podcasts where they pretend to talk about the Premier League, but they really
just want to talk about Darwin Núñez. But I'd like to see that. I'd like to see how people react to it because City are an oil club. They've got all the money. And it'd be good for someone else to go and win it. It would be.
Yeah. So many young English players in the team as well.
Yeah.
Well, British players.
Yeah.
You've got Tierney as well in there. He's a cracking player, left back Tierney.
But if there's one player who's going to let you down, Steve, it's Granit Xhaka, mate.
Mate?
He's going to let you down. He's going to break your heart.
He might do. But fair play. We spoke last week, didn't we, about Jesus and whether Jesus... would Arsenal miss Jesus? I think was the question that came in the Quickfire Forum last week. And we said, well, not really, because he's he's been a bit off the boil for a while. But Nketiah came in, played that number 9 role there. He scored a brilliant sort of pirouette goal, didn't he? Look, will Arsenal win the league? I don't know, Steve. Can they win the league? They definitely can, mate.
They can, Steve. Thank you for that as well. It was bloody long. It was like a TED talk.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was really good though.
We might even siphon that bit of the show off and get people to subscribe to that bit.
Yeah. People be like, who's this guy?
We'll call it Steve Tinks. Don't know. It was off the top of my head. Right, Jack. Let's look ahead. That was the end of the Quickfire Forum, guys. Thanks so much for sending your messages.
I know that wasn't very quick, Steve, but thank you. I appreciate that. And it was nice hearing your voice. You carb-eating machine. Can you hear a bit of Welsh in his voice now?
Steve?
Yeah, he's lived there for a while, hasn't he?
Oh, I don't know. I think he probably butchers it up a little bit for the Quickfire Forum in case his dad hears it. He's got to keep it a bit Irish, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah, that's true, yeah.
But yeah, he's definitely gone Welsh, hasn't he?
Yeah. Definitely.
All right, Steve, how's it going?
Oh, not 3 bar rice, eh? Oh.
Going over to Diga Place for a couple of pints, is it,
From
Steve?
County Mayo, is it?
Oh. All right, Jack, looking ahead to the Premier League fixtures for match day 19. I mean, big games all over the shop. Arsenal,
Newcastle, the title decider.
Brilliant. It's going to be a good game. Arsenal at home. Newcastle are going to go there.
Newcastle are away.
Yeah.
Oh, words.
I think there's going to be a bit of a vested interest in that game, obviously, because, you know...
What time's that on here, Tom?
Here it's on at 3:45 a.m. in Perth.
We'll watch that.
And the early game will be actually Brentford-Liverpool at 1:30 a.m.
Oh, tasty.
Which is handy.
Wonder who Ivan Toney's betting on for that game.
Well, whoever he's betting on, I'm going to try and back as well. But yeah, and then look, Chelsea versus Manchester City.
Big one.
It's a big game. And I think regardless, I think most teams in the division will hope for a Chelsea win there. But again, more exciting games. Aston Villa host Wolves. Wolves desperate for the points there as well. And Leeds West Ham in a bit of a battle of that sort of mid to bottom of the table.
Relegation battle there as well. Southampton against Forest. Some good ones.
That could be very telling.
Palace Tottenham will be tasty, won't it?
Yeah, Palace have got no squad players left after doing 2 red cards. And Man United host Bournemouth. You've got a fancy Man United there, haven't you? Yeah. I seen Ten Hag talk about, obviously Liverpool have signed Gakpo this week. Ten Hag said that looking at his squad, he's happy that United can compete. Do you agree with that?
No.
Have they got enough? I just don't think they've got enough firepower.
They just let Cristiano Ronaldo go.
Cristiano Ronaldo, by the way, has sailed off into the sunset for 75 million a year.
200 million a year? Over the 2 years. Is it 75 a year?
A year.
Oh, mate, sauce that on it.
Dollars.
Aye, tax-free.
He's on,
Tax-free.
Tax-free. He's on $10,000 a minute.
Aye. $10,000 a minute. We're bad at maths here at Club Football DPL. It doesn't matter. He's on dough, mate. He's on more dough than we make.
I've seen it on Instagram. Jack, look, it's been brilliant. It was definitely worth packing the podcast kit. And
I'm glad you packed the podcast kit.
And bringing it all the way to Perth.
I'm a little
and then
bit
making
drunk.
the whole family
I'm
be really
a little
quiet.
bit drunk.
Yeah, you know when we went for a coffee before, we went for a beer.
We went for some booners, mate. And I am drunk.
Yeah. So, guys, look, thanks so much for listening. Once again, thanks for sending your voice notes in. It's been brilliant to get them and to hear your thoughts. Once again, thanks to Mark who gave us the intro for the show. And if you'd like to do an intro for the show, just record it, send it in, and you know we'll get you on. We'll get you on next week. Every week we say message a mate. It's really important to us. Message a mate is where we ask people to reach out to a friend or a loved one who they haven't spoke to in a while. Reach out to them, see how they're going. Sometimes the people who need you the most are the people who go most silent. This time of year especially. So don't forget to message a mate. We do ask if you're enjoying the podcast to pass it on to a friend. We are, after all, trying to grow the podcast.
Yeah.
You know, at the moment we get around 300,000 listens a pod.
We could do with more.
And we'd like to get a couple more. So if you don't mind passing the podcast on to a mate, the bigger we get, the more stuff we can do, the more we can give away, the more guests we can get on, and the better the product will be for you guys. So
Before we go,
yeah.
a special congratulations to Jonathan and Sean on the birth of their baby,
Of course.
Henry James Edwards.
Yeah, baby Indiana's been born.
Indiana's the dog's name.
We're absolutely delighted to get another copite into this world, even though I'm sure Sean's family and Lee, who are big blue noses, aren't they?
Oh well.
They'll be trying to get him.
Oh well.
But we're happy to
He
have
probably
him.
won't like supporting a team in the championship anyway.
No, by the time he grows up and he understands it, he'll be in League 2. So look, thanks very much for listening, everyone. It's been a pleasure, Jack.
I'd like to end today's episode, Tom, with a quote from the late, great Pele.
I scored 7,364 goals.
But you can only count 1,000 of them. Success is no accident. It's hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you're doing or learning to do. I think that's a big message for everyone. Have a happy, happy new year.
Yeah, we can't wait to see you.
2023 is the year this pod continues.
We don't know what's going to happen, but we will be here next week.
But we definitely will be.
And
here.
we'll be here Thursday next week. I
Yeah,
know this
Thursday,
one was released
yeah,
on Saturday, but it will be Thursday.
No more boozing in the week next week.
Yeah.
It's a new year. New us. Thank you, everyone.
Cheers. All right, kids. Love you, ta-ra.